This episode is brought to you by the Conscious Combo Network and the Black Boy Fly Club. Go to www.blackboyfly.club to learn about the movement, get books, merch, and just get connected with the brand overall. Again, www.blackboyfly.club. I hope you enjoy the next episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Black Boy Fly podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Isaac Addae. Thanks again for tuning in. Episode number 10. Still having fun, still getting a lot of good feedback, still creating content and sharing it with the masses around different themes from my book. I really appreciate the support from the community. There seems to be a lot of thoughts about this idea of Black Boy Fly and the need for Black men to have a space to be able to talk about the things that they're dealing with and going through. So thanks for sharing the episodes and thanks for tuning in and providing your comments. Today, I wanted to talk about greatness, and specifically the greatness that exists within inside of us and how we tap in and discover that greatness. All right. Now, if you've been keeping up with me or if you've read my book, you know two things. One, that Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite hip hop artists. And two, I spent many years on college campuses teaching students in business. Right. One of the things that I would do at the end of every semester when I taught on campus, I would have a conversation with my students about greatness, but I would use Kendrick Lamar's album titled To Pimp A Butterfly kind of as an example to segue into that conversation. I would basically talk to the students about the caterpillar and its journey, right? We all know the caterpillar to be this rough and rugged creature that goes through this process of going into a cocoon, coming out of that cocoon and emerging into this beautiful butterfly that spreads its wings and is very graceful. And to me, that journey from becoming a caterpillar to going into a cocoon, emerging as a butterfly is very symbolic of what we go through in life. And I position that conversation with my students as the discovery of greatness, right? We're all intended to be this beautiful butterfly creature that can fly and spread our wings and has all these different colors and patterns. To me, the butterfly represents greatness. And life is a journey essentially to discover that or to tap into it. But what I realized when I would have this conversation with students every semester is that many didn't believe that greatness even existed within them. And if you feel that way, I want to challenge your thinking on that. All right. Now, just think about some of the greatest inventions that have been offered to the world, right? Some of the greatest contributions to society in terms of thought, in terms of technology, in terms of science and art. Human beings have created some amazing things. I'm using a microphone to communicate a voice through a device that's capturing video. I mean, this was created by humans. So the idea that greatness is within us, to me, is something that rings true and is something that I want everybody to believe. And really, life is about understanding what that greatness looks like for you and then how you tap into it. But it starts with, of course, believing that you can be great. And so what I would tell my students is that if we can look at some of these greatest inventions that were created by human beings, and we're also human beings, to me, that means we're all capable of doing great things. We're all capable of making unique contributions to the world that may change our community, change our family, change society, or just change the world as we know it. But how do we get to a place of understanding what that greatness looks like? And then how do we go about tapping into it? Well, for me, I think it started with my parents, right? Well, my parents left Ghana and they came to this country. They had some really big visions for what their life was going to be. I was their firstborn child, and I was always told from a very young age that I was created to achieve something great. My parents instilled within me at a very young age that greatness was within me, and they really held me accountable throughout my childhood in terms of me getting on the path of discovering that greatness and actually living it out in my day-to-day life. When I think about greatness, to me, that's synonymous with your gift. What is that unique gift that you have to offer to the world? Some people call it your anointing. What is your anointing? What I've discovered in my adulthood is that my gift or my anointing is speaking. But in addition to that, it's connecting with people, not just through words, but through actions. And so, I tell people that I'm a social engineer because I love to connect and make and develop relationships. That's my gift. And I've been working on finding ways to harness that gift and that greatness so that I can put it on display. But I know that it's within me. And my journey through life is just about tapping into it in the right ways that make sense for me to achieve my goals. When I talk to my young children, 3 boys in my household, it's about, you guys are great. You have greatness within you. And my goal as a father is to help you all identify that and tap into it so that you can make your contributions to your family, your community, and society with your gift or through your gift. We're all gifted. We all have that greatness within us. But many times we don't believe it. And even sometimes when you believe it, you may go through things that causes you to second guess that gift. It causes you to second guess that anointing. I've endured it. I've experienced it. I've had some challenges. And through those challenges, sometimes I wondered if I was truly gifted, if I was anointed, if I was great. And the truth of the matter is, yes, I always have been. But sometimes what we experience can shape our perspective on what we're capable of and who we are. I want you to know that you're great. If you're listening to this podcast, you're great. So repeat after me. I am great. Say it. I am great. All right. Now that you say it, I want you to really believe it, and I want you to really own it. And then I want you to start thinking about what that gift or that greatness is and how are you going to express it through your thoughts, your words, or your actions, and just your general walk through life. Somebody out there is waiting on you to do the thing that you were called to do so that their life can be positively impacted or changed in some way. I read that somewhere a few years ago, and that really resonated with me. So let me say it again. Somebody somewhere is waiting on you to tap into that inner greatness and do the thing that you were called to do or that you were created to do so that their life can be better because of it. So with that being said, why wait? And if you do understand what that greatness is and what that gift is, get to work on it. Get moving on it. Now, I've been blessed to have people around me my entire life that have seen the greatness and have pushed me to get it out. Not just my parents, my immediate family, my extended family, mentors such as Dr. Napoleon Moses, who I met when I was in the 9th grade, or Dr. Decatur Rogers, who was the dean of engineering when I was at TSU, even at all the places that I stopped along my career in the corporate world and in the academic world. I've had people who have said to me clearly, Isaac, you're gifted, and I'm going to help you get that out, because I wasn't always clear on what that gift was. So who is around you and what are they saying to you? Are they helping you hone in on your gift? I've had people such as a good friend of mine, a fraternity brother, Jeff Brown. He flat out told me one day, Isaac, why are you running from your gift? You really seem to be running from your gift. That was a few years ago, and he really shook me up with that. But the people that are close to you can often see what you can't see. They can see your anointing because they understand you and they've experienced you in different capacities. So lean on your network. Talk with them about the things that you're naturally good at so that they can help you identify ways to express that gift. Because what I've realized is that we don't often always know or understand what's possible in terms of what we can do with our gift, right? I've been in the speaking world and coaching and consulting and training for some years. But when I was younger, I wasn't fully exposed to that world, and I didn't know that that was a possibility or a path through which I could express myself and leverage my gift. So in addition to leaning in on the people around you, tap into mentors. Seek advice and counsel from folks that have achieved different things and talk with them. Maybe people that are related to you, maybe people that you identify with, or someone that you see that you have something in common with. Reach out, have a conversation. Sometimes just talking to people will help you understand how you can better achieve using your gift and putting that into action in your daily walk through life. That was probably one of the things that I think I helped my students most with over the years as a college professor. And even today, I'm out of the classroom, but I'm still connected to students and I'm still talking to them about their careers. And our conversation is always, you're great. And my goal is to help you tap into that greatness so that you can get started on that journey sooner than later. All right. Now, again, remember, I said that someone somewhere is waiting on you to do the thing you were called to do. Someone's life and their future depends on your greatness being put on display. Are you going to keep them waiting? Are you going to go ahead and tap in and get moving in that direction so that you can make the mark that you were created to make on this world? It really starts in the mind. It's a psychological thing. But once you get it and once you believe it, now we've got to do the work of trying to discover it. So let me just share some tools that have helped me. One, well, in addition to family and mentors, books, reading. I read a lot. There was a book that I read back, I want to say maybe in 2009 called The Escape from Cubicle Nation. The author was Pamela Slim. That book shook my mind up because it helped me think about myself very differently. I had an employee mindset and I was used to being an individual contributor. That book taught me to think about my gifts and my talents and what I was good at and how I could package those in a way that I could build a career. Blew my mind. That was the first time I had really thought about myself in that way. So The Escape from Cubicle Nation, that was a book that was really pivotal for me. Doing this podcast has been pivotal because I've been hearing messages from folks and I've been expressing myself in a unique way. This is helping me tap further into that gift of speaking and connecting with people through a new medium. So this is foreign to me, but it's a new path and it's a new way in which I'm trying to develop that particular skill set and put my greatness on display. Writing also helps. I journal, I published a book, but also just generally write on blogs and different things like that, or just jot different thoughts when I'm out and about. Writing helps me think through my thoughts, make sense of it. I practice self-expression, which helps me become a better communicator in terms of communicating my thoughts and sharing my viewpoints with people. So writing has helped me with my gift of speaking and connecting with people. All right. Just sharing a few things with you that I think that may help you along your journey, because remember, you're great, right? We said it a few minutes ago. And now that we understand that we're great, we're going to get busy on finding what exactly that greatness is and what's the vehicle that's going to allow us to put it on display. So I've talked to different people. I did a podcast interview with Ebony Magazine earlier this week. And one of the questions they asked was, why has your career taken so many different turns? And I clearly said, my life has been about impact and purpose. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And my career journey and the transitions and the left and right turns has just been about me finding that and finding the best way to express that gift or to put that gift on display. But again, I understand that I'm great. I'm human. We're all great in one way or another. Think about what people have accomplished in this world just with their brains and with their hands and with their heart. And think about what you can accomplish in this world with those same tools. Everybody has those same resources and the capability to do something impactful for your family, for your community, or for society. But it starts with you believing that you're great and then going down the journey of discovering and tapping into that greatness and practicing different ways to put that greatness on display. I promise if you continue down that path and you don't give up, you'll tap into that vehicle that's intended for you and you'll take off. Now, we've seen people accomplish this, right? If you think about sports, some of the greatest athletes, we're watching their greatness on display. Think about politics. If we think about business, education, government, the nonprofit sector, there's so many avenues in which we're watching people put their greatness on display. And because of technology and social media, we're able to see it on maybe a more human level, and it's more in our face. And we're seeing so many more examples of it just because of digital technology. What's going to be your path? What's going to be your story? What's going to be the mark that you're going to leave on the world because you tapped into your greatness and you've put that greatness on display? Now, I want to hear more about what you're thinking and feeling as it relates to this. I'd love to connect with you and share more about my journey to tapping into my greatness and putting it on display for the world to see. And the last thing I'll say about this, it can be scary, right? And oftentimes the thing that's great within you, or the thing that you're anointed with, may be very foreign to you or your family, or you may be embarking on a journey that no one before you has embarked on. You may actually be creating the blueprint that others are going to use to put their greatness on display. I've experienced that, and sometimes it's scary, but I'm here to tell you that because you understand that you are great, and we all understand that purpose drives everything that we do, you have to tap in, because someone's waiting on you and their life is going to be changed because of it. But also think about what others will see when you do what you're called to do. Think about the possibilities that you're going to create for other people by showing them an example of a person who fought to put their greatness on display. We're seeing so many examples of new ways to go about being great because folks have dared to take those bold steps, ventured out into the unknown, and overcome that fear and move forward. I want to see more of that, and I want to help you with that. So hopefully this message encourages you. Again, you're great. Tap into it. All right. Short word for today, but just wanted to share that quick thought with you all. Again, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in to the podcast. I'm really having a lot of fun with this. It's different. It's a unique way for me to communicate with folks, but I'm getting better with every episode. So stay tuned for more content. We're on YouTube and all your favorite podcast platforms. You can also connect with me on my website, isaacaddae.com, or on social media at isaacaddae. I'd love to hear from you and what you're thinking and feeling. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next episode.